What's up, guys? Matt Brown here, lineups.com. Talk a little Monday Night Football here between the Rams and the Falcons. If you haven't done so already, everything we do absolutely free here on the channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below as we look at this game that actually is still pretty important. I'm not going to bore you with the details. You can kind of like look it up, but weirdly, the Falcons can still tie for first place in the NFC South. They'll lose all the tiebreakers, but they could really muck things up if they were to win out. So they could try to play spoiler if they want to. Maybe that's a motivation for them. And the Rams pretty locked into where they're at, although they could get a ton of help to get all the way as high as the 1 seed. So again, it's just they don't control their own destiny. They need a ton of help. So it does make me wonder just exactly what we're going to get out of this team here. So here we are sitting at 7.5. Now, the money's starting to roll in a little bit on the Falcons. You can see this is a juice 7.5, 49.5 is our total here on this one, 3-1 if you think the Falcons can win this thing outright. Of course, this is over at MGM. If you don't have an account there, lineups is your promo code up to $1,500 in bonus bets back off your first bet if you happen to lose that one. Guys, take a look here at what we're getting in this game. Again, like I said, the Rams don't control their own destiny. They need a bunch of help from other teams out there, which I think is going to factor in to this handicap. If you look here also, not going to have Kevin Dotson out there starting offensive lineman for them. Devontae Adams, doubtful means out. I mean, you don't go 3 DNPs and play, so Devontae Adams isn't going to play in this thing. They haven't even talked about shutting him down just through the rest of the regular season altogether. So he's not going to be out there. So offensive lineman down, Devontae Adams down. On the Falcons side of things, the one that we're really going to be looking at here is Mike Hughes. He is a starting corner for them, and he is out in this one. So this was 8 yesterday. 8, difference between 8 and 7.5. Not that big of a deal. I played the Falcons at 8. And there's some narrative going on in this one, guys. If you've watched any of my videos in the past, you know I like to talk about stats this and stats that and advanced stats this and advanced stats that. And this is a lot more narrative than anything else because the motivation here for the Rams is really just get out of this game without any injuries. Yes, you would like to win it, but again, you need a bunch of help to move, and you're probably just going to be stuck in the 5th spot, just as it is. And so Sean McVay historically has been fairly conservative. He has, rested dudes when he need to rest dudes and all of that. And this team's a little nicked up, as we just said, down an offensive lineman, down Devontae Adams. Matthew Stafford started the offseason with a back injury. He was able to make it through the whole season. Do you want him taking unnecessary snaps out there and all of that? I kind of feel like this is a situation where we're not going to get the full-on 100% effort from this Rams team. I don't think play calling could be a little bit vanilla, a little bit bland, because, again, the motivation here is just don't get anyone injured. Get out of this thing, get into the playoffs, and go try to win a Super Bowl. So 7.5 on the other side of a touchdown. Anything on the other side of a touchdown I think is playable for the Falcons here in this. Who, by the way, have still been fighting. Have definitely still been fighting. I don't know if Kirk Cousins is still playing to think that maybe he can start somewhere next year or something or whatever, but he's looked a little bit better. Certainly has been peppering Kyle Pitts with targets. Drake London's kind of emerged a little bit more. Bijan Robinson catches a ton out of the backfield when he's under center. So there's a whole bunch of things here that I think lead me towards wanting to give the Falcons here a bet. By the way, didn't mess with the weather forecast here, obviously, because this is in a dome, so don't need to talk about that. So I'm going to be anything over a touchdown here on the Falcons. I'll take the points. I think the Rams play conservative. I don't think they're going to go crazy here. Like I said, Sean McVay has kind of shown his stripes over the last several seasons as how conservative he likes to be in these type of situations. From a prop perspective, I'm going to lean into what we have seen since we have gotten under center with Kirk Cousins here. Now, if you can find a 4.5, this was 4.5 as early as like earlier this morning. So if you can find a 4.5, I like the 4.5 better on Pitts, but Pitts just continues to get peppered with targets from Kirk Cousins. And then the other thing here is if you look over here at the receiving yards, you can see Pitts sitting there at 54. Maybe you'd rather feel more comfortable with this than the 6 receptions, because you can certainly get to 55 yards with 5 receptions as opposed to getting to 6 receptions for the 55 yards. And so, especially with the routes that they have Pitts running right now and all of that. So if you can't find a 4.5 that you like, I'm okay with playing the yardage just instead on Pitts. But we're going to lean into Kirk Cousins just really and truly just using Kyle Pitts the way that I thought that they wanted to use him when they drafted him, and giving him a ton of looks, a ton of different line up in the slot, line up out wide, all the different things. He's really kind of come into his own here in the second half of the season. On the flip side, I'm going to be taking an under here from a reception standpoint on Terrence Ferguson. We're getting plus money on the under for Terrence Ferguson. I think this thing gets juiced up a lot because of last game. But if we look right here, he's a rookie. They run 3 tight ends, right? So, I mean, like, he's the third in the pecking order of the 3 tight ends. We need 2 catches for this to cash. He's gone over 2 catches in exactly 2 games on the entire season. You can see he played in these, only got 1 target in this game. He's not cashing in on these targets. Only another target here, 0 for 2, 0 for 1, 1 for 2. He had this 3-catch game last week, which, by the way, was a shootout in overtime. And now everyone's like, well, he's obviously going to get 2 catches in this game. Let's go with what we've seen over the course of the entire season, which is he is not a very big part of this offense. And we're getting plus money on the under 1.5 catches here. So let's hope that Ferguson just kind of keeps up what he did all year long. Gets 1 catch, moves on. He's third in the pecking order, like I said, in a team that runs 3 tight ends as it is anyway, and also may kind of pull the plug. The only way this really goes south for us is if McVay, without telling us beforehand, if McVay decides, like, you know what, I'm just going to pull all the starters in the fourth quarter, or I'm going to pull all the starters in the end of the third. If that's the case, we'll probably get screwed in this one. But he has not said that. They asked him. He didn't say he was going to do that, so we just kind of have to go with what we know. And what we know is that he's not a big part of this offense if they try to operate it like they normally do. And so we'll take the under catch and a half at nice plus money here. A feat that he has only done twice over the course of the entire season. 1 2-catch game here, and then the last game we just talked about here, which was a 3-catch game. So that's how we're going to play this, guys. Again, I like the Falcons side. I like Pitts continuing his role there in this offense, and then I don't think Ferguson is going to do much so long as they run the normal offense. If he decides to pull all the starters in the fourth quarter and he's the one out there running all the routes, then we might get screwed there on that one. But let's hope not. Let's hope that they can that they play this one straight, try to get Puka Nacua the Offensive Player of the Year, try to get Matthew Stafford the MVP, and run it all the way until late in the fourth quarter anyway, and I think we'll be good with those bets. Guys, again, everything we do absolutely free here on the channel. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button down below. Let me know in the comment section how you're going to play this thing, and good luck on all your Monday Night Football bets.